Is it? Yeah, we're
I wish I didn't have the.
We're rolling. Yeah. All right. Welcome to the
Hey, look
Nosebleeders show.
who's here, everybody.
That's right. I am Phil. That is Mike. And
What
our
up?
original founding co-host, B-Rabs, is chilling with us today. Thank you for
Brian's
joining us.
here.
As you
Good
can
to be
see,
back with you degenerates.
I know.
That's right.
I don't have my
That's
normal
right.
setup today either, guys. I don't have my normal. I'm at my parents' house. I'm sitting in the very room that I perfected beating off in. This is my childhood bedroom that I'm recording from this week. I don't know where you guys are recording from, but there we go. You can see the lace curtains here. Obviously, it is not my house.
Yeah,
That-
there's a hole in the ceiling.
More style than anyway.
Is that a glory hole you put in the ceiling?
No, that's on the ceiling. That was my fault. I did that many years ago, but that's a totally different conversation. Let's start with B-Rabs though.
That load you shot, man, really blew through the ceiling.
It's like
I told you,
scary movie.
Here, there were some growing pains learning how to pound one off here.
Oh my god! So should we put the picture up? This is
put it up. Well, I want to start with the day of B-Rabs. So B-Rabs, I want to talk about this big guy. I want to talk about you were at the preseason
Jets Giants.
I was there. Me and my brother went there.
Nice.
It was such a lovely buffet of Jersey trash. It really was. I'm Jersey trash myself.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and I just moved back from Brooklyn to Newark, New Jersey. I live in Newark, New Jersey right now. It just felt like home. I was like, oh, here's a mom talking about how she was able to like pocket road beers. They have $5 beers at the stadium, $5 Busch Lights.
No.
So she's with her two kids, and she's just like, I was able to pocket all these road beers in my pocketbook. And she's like drinking on the train while her kids are like looking at their phone or whatever. And she's talking about how she'd get in arguments at Disney World, taking her kids when she couldn't get on space. When she couldn't download the app and get out on Space Mountain. That was really fun to meet her. And then I met like this kid from Manahawkin who like just was trying to sell me weed. And he told me like he's a huge Jets fan. So like I just met, like I was like, this is home. This is home.
Yeah.
This is a lovely buffet.
You root for the gangrene? Well, no, the guy's like, hey, you root for the gangrene? I want to sell you some green, all right? That's what we're going to do.
Of course.
Yeah.
I didn't realize people still did that.
That is
because everything's legal in New York and New Jersey now. Why would anybody like buy it off a guy on a train? Like that's so weird. Like,
well, I think he also offered to smoke me up, but I just passed because we were talking about he comes from Manahawkin, New Jersey, which is all the way in South Jersey to Jets games, and I'm like, you are really dedicated for misery, my guy. You will
an hour and a half.
I know. I mean, it's one thing to be miserable watching your favorite team lose. It's another thing to then go back on New Jersey public transit. Like how have you not
3 hours too? Yeah.
How have you not taken your own life by now? I mean, it's one thing to be stuck in the parking lot. It's another thing to be stuck on the train and then take 2 commutes and 2 transfers to get back on the train.
Imagine New Jersey Transit being not the most miserable part of your day.
I know.
That's true. I guess that's why they allow drinking on the train. Like we know.
Yeah.
How was
the actual game? How is I know Jersey is full of your fellow degenerates, but how was the actual
The actual game was good. So I'm looking up his name right now. There's this guy named Adrian Martinez on the Jets. He's like a 4th string quarterback. He's really good. Like he was the belle of the ball. Everyone was talking about like if the Jets should keep him and groom him to potentially be something like of the future. So
that you well in Jersey, grooming.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. Okay. That's
but he did really well. DeVito kind of not so much. But you know what else? Our kicker, who was actually our first string kicker, nobody cool went in. Like Sauce Gardner didn't go in, Aaron Rodgers didn't go in. Like I don't think Wilson wasn't in. It was just basically none of the starters were in, so we were just watching like the 3rd string against the Giants. But DeVito is in, which is I don't know about that one. For the Giants, at least.
Yeah, people are saying DeVito should start, and it's like he's a backup quarter. I mean, the Giants are filled with backup quarterbacks, but I would love to see DeVito start, but I don't know if he's good enough to be a starter. I think he's serviceable as a backup, but please, he's an Italian icon, so prove me wrong. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know if he's good enough to be the. Will he be the starter? Yes, I'm sure by week 3, Daniel Jones will do something, whether get hurt, God forbid, or just suck, and it'll be a disaster because it's Giants.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B there, Mike.
Right. Yeah. And DeVito will come in slinging mashed potatoes and gravy and chicken cutlets.
But yeah, basically this dude Adrian Martinez was really good. And hopefully we'll keep him. We probably won't because we're the Jets and we make terrible decisions all the time. Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe if Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor get hurt, which is very possible.
Very likely.
Actually, it's actually a very likely reality. This would be our quarterback. So. And yeah, it's also fun watching people get really upset and argue over because it was Jets and Giants fans, so it was 50-50 in the whole stadium. So it's so fun watching
sucks more. No, our team sucks more.
Yeah. Any fights, any brawls,
essentially that, and also it's a preseason game. We might as well be watching PAL right now. The Jets won, which is cool, but it's a shrug at best. Also, people were doing the wave, but the wave happened no lie for 20 minutes straight. I'm usually a wave is I don't know, 5 minutes? Yeah. I was we're still doing this. We're still jumping up in the air right now. So overall, good game. We'll see. I love my jersey trash. Whatever happens, I'm excited for football this season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see the Jets at this year? How many wins you giving them?
I'm not sure. My brother definitely thinks they're going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah. There was a choke. Brian choked, and then he's like,
Yeah, no, when I asked him that question, he visibly recoiled 4 full seconds. He's like, oh, wait.
They actually can win? Yeah.
Our guest last week,
I just don't
on. He thought 13 was a reasonable number. No joke. He thought the Jets could win 12 or 13 games. Are you that optimistic?
Yeah, I mean, no, just because our quarterback had a career. I mean, not a career. Our quarterback had a season-ending injury last year in the first 4 minutes of the game. The O-line really needs to just be there, and maybe they will be, but. He's got to stay in the pocket. Aaron Rodgers has to stay in the pocket. He can't fucking try move around too much. He can't pull he can't run at all. He can't no sliding. If you're about to go down, you gotta go down. You gotta just accept that hit. He's yeah, I don't know. I'm eternally depressed being a Jets fan. So if we do well, I know some people think it might be the Jets and the Lions in the Super Bowl this year. So we'll see. But
oh god, battle of the trash.
Yeah.
Trash City versus trash fans right there. Oh man, I would love that.
I think the Jets win I think they win 9 games. They need a young quarterback. They need a CJ Stroud. They need a
You're only giving them 9, Mike?
I mean, they have good offensive weapons, but are they really that good? I mean, it's the Jets.
Well, I look at it the same way that our guest last week looked at it, which is literally any quarterback who's not named Zach Wilson would have done better last year with this.
And this Martinez guy is better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
So
chiming in with his picks. Yeah. I mean, but I was saying, I think the Yankees, the Jets really need, obviously for the future, they need a Josh Allen. They, somebody of that level.
Yeah. And it might be this Martinez guy. Who knows?
Who's the Bengals guy with the great ass we always talk about? What's his name?
Oh, man. Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow. That's his name, yeah.
Joe Burrow. I knew that right away. That ass is on my boy. Front and
great
center
ass.
of my mind. He's a very great ass.
Yeah.
Beautiful human.
But we need.
All right. Speaking of beautiful humans, let's get into some other fun stuff. Mike, what else is on the docket today?
All right, we got a lot of good brawls. We got some good commercials. We got some stuff that I know you picked out for Brian.
We got Benji barking also. This is
Benji.
This is the dog Benji barking. I'll try to keep him calm and muted and stuff, but Benji's on the show today. He's our fourth voice you hear. There he is.
Oh, there we go.
Benji has
All right, Mike, bring us through it.
All right, let's go to we'll start this off with let's do a fight. This is Mookie Wilson and Tom Glavine, and this is from Glavine's rookie year in I think '88. So Glavine pitches to Mookie Wilson. Mookie, this is a replay. He hits a home run, takes some yards. So later he beans Mookie Wilson, and Mookie is like, "Yo, come on, really?" And Glavine's like, "What? I didn't do nothing. It got away from me. I didn't do nothing." And Mookie is, this is Mookie Wilson we're talking about here. You don't beat Mookie Wilson. So Mookie's got some words. They're going back and forth. And he's cursing back at him. I'm a rookie. You're Mookie. And then the Mets' own coaching staff has to tackle Mookie Wilson. The bench is clear. This is a short one. When you ever see Mookie Wilson fight, he took one off the noggin. It was obviously done on purpose. And the Mets had to send their own coaching staff out to protect Mookie Wilson from fighting a young Tom Glavine, which was...
What year was this, Mike?
1988. This was 1988, Glavine's rookie season, who, of course, he ended up playing for the Mets. But, Mets and Braves never get along. And just seeing, I wish there was another angle. This is all we found. I don't know who this coach is. It looks like his name is Robinson. Had to tackle, there's Tim Tuffle. Had to tackle Mookie Wilson. And nothing really came of it. But I thought it was a very rarity. First of all, have you ever seen Tom Glavine go headhunting? And does Mookie Wilson ever fight?
Yeah, no. I mean, Mookie Wilson's like one of the nicest guys on the most degenerate team possible, And this was this was. I mean, obviously 2 years after they won the World Series, so this is just this is the hangover years of the Mets for the most part.
Mookie Wilson doesn't even have an ear protector on his helmet. He's got a catcher's helmet. There's somebody moaning. Is that the dog? It's
Benji. It's Benji the dog. Benji is moaning.
It's like your stomach's growl.
Benji's moaning.
So this is not crazy, but interesting. Yeah. When do we ever see something?
I like the old school VHS footage because that's exactly what this is. I appreciate boomers who found VHS tapes and are like, oh, somebody on YouTube wants to watch this.
Yeah. But
I'm always here for it. I love this kind of old stuff. This is now this is the Braves in '88, so this would be at the Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, I believe, right? This is
the Hank Aaron 715 Stadium. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I love this.
Yeah,
I love the old school Mets uniforms too. That they only break out once in a while with the stripes. Big fan of those.
So they got they almost have Yankees away uniforms. They copied the New York, and now obviously they have their own, which they went back to their original look. So it's good the Mets now at least have. I mean, this is when they were at their peak, but they have their own identity. They have an owner who cares about the team now, and it's not the Wilpon era, thank God.
And I love that he's just mounting Mookie Wilson right now. He looks like he's just plowing him out.
Yeah, that's
of course where my mind goes to.
This is unity
right off the bat.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess is that a Braves player? The Braves fielder is even all right, let's who's it? Gerald Perry, if you remember him.
He said, guys, enough with the PDA right now, okay? cut it.
I got baseball. This is not going to be legal in America for 25 more years. What are you doing?
Yeah, I respect you, but we got a game to play.
Just for when you're back in Hell's Kitchen, okay?
All right. Well, we got next, Mike. What we got?
All right, now let's go to another smaller fight. But then we'll go to the big fight. So this is something from, I believe, college baseball. I don't know the year. I don't know the teams, and it gets interesting. So this is
we still have more stamina here.
Allie Reynolds Stadium. Allie Reynolds used to pitch for the Yankees. Yeah, barrels over the catcher. So of course this is going to lead. There's somebody.
Did he kill him? The guy didn't even get up.
Beans him in retaliation, and now it's bedlam.
Now it's on.
Bedlam.
Yeah,
now it's on.
The very catcher that he plowed is trying to hold him back. That's not a recipe for a peace, love, and understanding at all.
And this gets a little crazy. We've seen some fights. Now it's on. There's punches being thrown. OSU against Oklahoma. Look, he's beating him down in the corner by the dugout.
It's Oklahoma. You got a bunch of farm boys here who came here to scrap. Let's go.
Look at this.
I know. This actually looks amazing. This fight is. I mean, this is a minor league team or a college team?
College. OSU.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
I also like how it's done by college cameramen. So your camera angles are just guys that are standing next to them on the field with a camera. It's not that overhead shot from center field or behind home plate. This is like a dude with a camera who's standing right there as the fight's going on.
Everyone has acne and they're hungover. Like that's basically the camera. That's basically the cameraman, and they're just watching the guys that usually beat them up on.
This guy here is laying into him.
Him. Look, I mean, he's throwing a left-right combo. I mean, this is like pro boxing, and now he's just beating them down. It's like Mortal Kombat. Things got intense real quick for this one. So we've
shout out to this grandpa at the very end with the hiked up shorts above the knee. Can we get a little still frame? This guy right here in the middle, right here with the polo shirt on it, acting like nothing's going on. Like, man, I hope these children stop fighting soon so I can get back to my boat or to the country club or whatever.
And I'm wondering if this guy in the yellow is security and he just decided to run away. You see him? Look, or somebody snuck out under the stands.
He's a poor grounds crew member who got caught under the pile and is like, I just want to go home, guys.
So that was kind of interesting. I mean, there was actually violence, chose violence. Now, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like, maybe it's like my shitty New Jersey internet connection. But I wasn't, it was lagging for me a little bit, but it looked like a pretty amazing. Like, it looked like, it almost looked like the coaches were also getting involved too as well. So that's always fun. Like, I just, it's college players, even though the stakes aren't as high, like they have nothing left to lose. Well, maybe because the stakes aren't as high, they have nothing left to lose. So they play with a lot more passion, ironically, than like people that get paid and treat it like a job,
Well,
so like
Brian, let me add into your point. I think you're right, because a lot of them, you think about it, there's people who are good enough to play in the little league and not really in high school, or high school but not really in college, or college but not really the pros. And some of these guys know this is like their last hurrah. Like they have to go and they have to sell, Nissans back in Akron after this is over. This is the last time they get to play serious ball. And so, like you said, they're into it, man. They're passionate.
Do they still make Nissans?
They promised their principal they would never come back and teach gym. And that's what they're going to do if they don't get picked up. They're all going to be gym teachers, bitter gym teachers. That like maybe hit on teenagers in the parking lot.
All right, we're gonna go to the last brawl. This is a big one. This is one that's been on our list for I think a couple of years now. We've never gotten to it. This is Angels Athletics and a very scary and wide-eyed open looking. I didn't say that right. Tony La Russa. Let's just go.
Let's do it. Oh, of course, he hits him on the first one.
Turning out soft. All right, so this is Angels in the outfield uniforms here. Not bad. He plunks Tin Salmon, and everything's like, all right, we're just gonna move on with our lives. Everything's cool. He's cursing under his breath. I get it. There's Mark McGuire looking like chewing tobacco, and now it's
Mark McGuire.
He's looking like what's his name from Eastbound and Down, Danny McBride.
I was about to say that is a Kenny Powers mullet right there.
And somebody takes out the coach, and
that's back when people wore them unironically too.
People like
it was a choice.
He was the man for wearing that. Like no one could tell him shit.
This thing, I mean, this is a big one. The coach gets knocked down. There's Spike Owen, future Yankee, JT Snow, former Yankee, and this is quite the scuffle here.
It's a good one.
This is a good one. This looks like it could be a classic.
That's Rod Carew.
Chili
Davis.
Back when A's fans existed because they had good ownership. This is back when this rivalry actually, because this is like one of those kind of ones we don't talk about because we live on the East Coast. But Angels A's, they played a lot and they fought for that division crown a lot late 90s, early 2000s.
This is when the A's had a shot, And now look at Tony La Russa. Tony La Russa has the death stare at this coach or whoever it is on the Angels. And I mean, He's like Don Zimmer level of insanity right now. He's ready to go.
You know, if you put makeup on
Even
Tony
more
La
than Don
Russa,
Zimmer.
with that hair, man, Tony La Russa could have been in Kiss, don't you think? With that fucking hair, that flowy,
Yes.
beautiful.
The announcers mention he has very long hair. That's a good point. He looks like Gene Simmons.
Yeah. Show us a tongue. Let's go.
He does
Tony.
look like he's been on like a bender for like a week straight, and now like he just can't go to sleep. Like, he's afraid if he goes to sleep, like he'll die. Like he'll never wake up again. Those eyes were super crazy. Those eyes were super, super crazy. Oh my God,
looks like
rocking.
Walter Matthau in Bad News Bears just wakes up with a beer in his hand and he's
even more insane than Walter Matthau. Walter Matthau had those like big bags under his eyes, so that like always made him look like whatchamacallit, like a fucking hound or whatever.
How about
this
Ricky
guy
Henderson?
just looked like pure adrenaline.
Yeah, how about Ricky Henderson's kick-ass flat top? That is something. Perfection. Ricky Henderson.
That is like a 90-degree like angle too. There's no. It is flat.
You know, we love flat
he could
tops.
shank somebody's. He could shank somebody's throat with that flat top. That's how sharp it is right there. He just cuts on the corner.
Yeah, you could hold a drink on top of that as long as you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's perfect.
Is that I didn't know Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was a coach on the A's. Apparently,
yeah, he actually
Richard Pryor.
Little known story. He faked his own death.
He's not on fire, so.
Become a baseball coach. He faked his own death. What he did.
Here's the replay. Plunks him in the arm. You know, I don't know, was it retaliation for something from earlier? Who the hell knows? But,
racial slur. Who knows? Right?
Yeah. He's like, you white piece of paper, and he beamed him. You know, and then all right, stings. And then McGuire's like, I'm chewing gum here, and we're fighting now. Great. You know, but it looks like it's not.
Grab him by the collar. Look at that. Grab him by the collar. High school style.
I don't know who that is.
But Mark McGuire looks like he's holding him back.
Yeah. So it wasn't Tim Salmon who charged Mike Gallego, former. He was more number 2 before Derek Jeter, by the way. Former Yankee. Yeah. So it looks like it was more. Oh, here's the little spill out. Here's the stuff we didn't see from the other angles. Man, he is pissed. You got Tony Phillips in there trying to hold this guy back from the A's. Everything seems calm. They get into the dugout. Yeah, here's the last angle. Big takedown there. That's the coach, I think, taking down.
Yeah.
Somebody. You love fights with the coaches. There we go. His hat falls off. Somebody's grabbing him by the hair.
Oh, the fights with the coaches are the best. Yeah, no, the fights with the coaches are definitely the best.
So that's that. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was, you know, if we were doing the old show, we give that a rating. I don't know. I would say that's about give it an 8 just for the coach.
I'm gonna go strong 8.5 with that one.
Okay.
Just for the extra.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.5 too. That was a classic. That was definitely a classic. Like it was like everything you like to see in a bench clearing brawl, like everyone getting involved, like the cast of characters getting like violent. You know, just it was and Mark McGuire, obviously. So
Mullets,
that's an 8.5. That's definitely.
Oh yeah, your old baseball cards on display. Now, before we get to the ads, I want to throw one little special thing, and this isn't a fight, but it is a bit of a fracas and uproar. We have the U.S. Open coming up. It starts Monday, tomorrow. So this will be posted tonight. It starts tomorrow.
We tennis brawl. Tell me we tennis brawl.
We don't have a tennis brawl, but we have an incident, and this we'll have to put the sound on for this.
That would be what we call it on this show. They're not brawls of tennis. It's an incident.
It's an incident. So this is John McEnroe, and he kind of gets into it with a fan. So let's take a look. So he's pointing.
She's yelling right in the middle of my serve. If there's no obstruction there, yelling in the middle of my point about that hit shot.
He's mad the fan yelled in the middle of his serve. So he goes up to the fan and has words with him.
Wow. What a pitch.
And look at this woman. This person called him awesome. Look at her face. He's awesome.
Wow.
Look at that Karen. Look at her. The Karen stare.
That
You
is
know, look at those eyes. Alfred Hitchcock could use her for like one of her movies.
the announcer. He is a
Thank you very much.
So what did
That
she
was scary.
expect? To kiss her back and roll?
He's definitely going to speak to the U.S. Open's manager.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Look, can we do it again with no sound? Because that was really loud.
sorry.
Yeah. No. He literally went to talk to the manager during the middle of a tennis match. Brian, you were right.
Yeah.
I will second what you just said. That was amazing.
I like his tennis uniform. Looks like those coffee
It's
cups,
why-
in the 80s.
It's why tennis is the whitest game possible. He's
Yeah,
like, no
I mean,
talking while
like-
I serve. Like, okay, really? You know how many people get cursed out? Like, every other
while
sporting
they're
event.
batting at a
while they're
baseball
batting.
game. I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. There's literally a guy that got. There's literally that Red Sox player that got suspended, like for.
Oh, we gotta talk about that this week.
Yeah.
Jaron Duran from
We-
the
yeah.
Red Sox. After
Yeah,
we're
I
done
forgot
making
we were
fun of
gonna
this
talk
Karen,
about
we're going
that.
to talk about that.
Yeah.
I would
that
say
is-
this:
Is
that
that Michael
you
Jackson
know,
back there?
it almost looks like it from the side there. Oh man, somebody's upset. No, but
The
I've personally in a ball game called half the Astros roster bitches and pussies within 20 feet of their fucking faces, and this guy can't even take like somebody loudly talking during his serve. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You're bitching out.
Yeah.
Man. Come on,
John McEnroe,
Yeah.
the legend.
That is Johnny Mac.
The New York
That is
legend.
That is Johnny Mac. Meanwhile, like Venus and Serena like grew up with like bullets whizzing by their fucking heads, and they can take anything. So, but like Johnny Mac can't take
Look
fucking
at that.
Charlene over here talking.
Wait, she mouthed asshole. She called him an asshole.
Oh yeah,
Play that again.
Look.
She definitely called him an asshole.
no, she called him an asshole. Yeah, you don't need John Boy to read those.
I don't.
lips.
Yeah, I don't.
Asshole. Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't have nearly his skill
Yeah.
in that, but that one's
Mhm.
obvious.
Of course.
That one's a gimme. That
I
was
just
amazing.
love their hair, the short 80s.
Yeah.
We're gonna go listen to Debbie Gibson at the club tonight. Janet Jackson haircut. That's what they have.
Yeah.
The kick-ass sunglasses she's got.
That's when $1 could get you 19 plays on the jukebox of the local bar.
Yeah. And she's got the little anchor shirt on. Her father owns some kind of country
Debbie
club.
Gibson, Van Halen, and Motley Crue. Let's go. We're going to the bar. Actually,
Yeah,
no,
she's
she looks like she protested the music of Kiss and Motley Crue. She looks like she showed up. You know,
Yeah.
She's a twisted sister is going to corrupt our youth. That is her face.
that is exactly. Oh no, we lost Mike.
I'm back. Sorry,
no,
I'm
Mike.
You
trying
lost
to.
Mike.
I'm trying to remove the fight. Brian's camera is completely
Yeah, Brian,
frozen.
your camera is frozen. Do you want to quickly do a little log in, log out situation there before we start our next?
I'll log out and log back in. Just
Yeah,
give
do
me
that.
one moment.
No
All
problem.
right. Take a pause here for station identification. This is the
Yes.
Nosebleeders podcast.
Yes, we are not
Each-
brought to you by WFAN Radio.
You
And
can
hey,
and you can decimate. What is it? Decimate? What do they say? This broadcast cannot be
Decibel?
decimated or
Oh,
What
cannot
is
be
it?
disseminated or
disseminated? Not
anyway,
decimated.
without the
You can
express written consent
disseminate this.
of the Nosebleeders podcast.
You can disseminate this all you want because we need the
Thank you, ladies and
publicity.
gentlemen. There we go. The time is now 10 to the hour. We're going to do weather here.
And here are the hits.
Yes, all your best hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Here we go. Now he's back.
Okay.
We think.
Okay. There we go. Yes.
There
okay.
it is.
All right,
There's
there we
Brian
go.
with his Jersey internet.
Yeah.
All right, let's do now. Mike, I don't know about you, man, but I've been having almost more fun, if not indefinitely. Well, I don't know if indefinitely is the right word. Undisputably more fun. We're doing these ads. We've
Yeah.
been digging up all these vintage ads and just screwing around them lately.
So good.
I don't know which one you're doing first, but I mean, smash that play button, man. We gotta do some vintage ads.
All right,
Which
let's-
one we doing
let's-
first?
Let's do the Gary Carter one first.
All right, we're doing Gary
And
Carter first.
Let's take a look.
Hitting home runs is the fun part of my job.
Clean cut,
Catching is the
Gary
tough
Carter.
part, the sweaty part.
But you won't catch me showering with deodorant soap.
I made a break from all that. A clean break with Ivory. Look, that's basic, natural, honest soap. It's not like soaps that cover you with smelly perfumes or deodorants. What's that got to do with clean? Ivory's clean is an honest clean. You can smell it, you can feel it.
Make a clean break, because you just can't beat Ivory's Honest Clean.
Even when you got a special date.
Oh, wholesome there at the end. All right.
Even when you got a special date, like that's not what anyone was thinking. It's like, oh, his children. Oh, okay. I mean, that's who Gary Carter was as a person. He was the
one guy from that era on the Mets who you would expect to not drive off with 2 strippers in his car after saying that exact phrase.
Yeah, in the middle of the 5th inning.
Yeah.
Where's half our tee? It's the 5th inning stripper break. You know?
Yeah, imagine if Darryl Strawberry was like, I got a special date, and it just that'd be a much different ending to that ad. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
exactly. It would be two women that he found on the subway missing their teeth. That's that's who it would be. Also, when he like cracked open the soap, I'm like, that's where Doc Gooden hid all his cocaine. It was in that soap right there. The perfect hiding spot.
Can we get a little shower shot there at the end, Brian? That's
Yeah, Phil was thinking of you during the shower scene. Yeah. He's like, save this for Brian.
Yeah.
I literally said that. I said we have a shower. We got to save this had to do with Brian. I said that.
He's not a bad looking. I mean, he's not a bad looking guy. He's just like, he's basically like a evangelical. Like that's how clean this guy was. He was the most. He was ironically the most family oriented human being on probably the worst case of degens that ever existed in baseball.
Yeah, he was the one guy in the clubhouse who was like, "Why are you guys always up past midnight? We have a ball game tomorrow, fellas."
Yeah.
Showers and holy water.
That's exactly what he was.
What is this math? 99.44 of 100%. Like a percentage is.
I was about to say, I could just see like Darryl Strawberry licking the soap, and it's like, that's not pure. That is not pure. I know what pure is. I know what pure fish scale is. So this Ivory shit right here, that is not pure.
Ghostface Killer.
That shit is not pure. I know.
I told you.
I know.
Get the stuff from Miami, not the stuff from Ireland. What is wrong with you?
They cut this soap with bleach. Let me tell you, I'm not getting fooled like that again.
How do they pull off this effect? How does the soap break itself? Look. It's like claymation, because there's water. It's not animated because there's water pouring over it. It must be on some turntable. Look, it's a perfect break. You don't see the rip.
Is there a chance that they just had a guy with green gloves? Would that work? No. Green gloves instead of a green screen? No? Okay.
No, look, how does it separate? Look at.
Okay, what I'm guessing is they pre-broke it, and then they had strings or something behind it that they kind of moved it with.
But look, you don't even see.
That's how I would do that, at least.
You don't really see the tear in the packaging. I'm just blown away by this 80s.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was the selling point when they would break the soap in half. I don't know why you're breaking soap in half, but that's what they would do back in the 80s. Look at this soap, you can break it.
And we're going to close the show on Brian. Guess what we have? Oh wait, Brian, your camera's effed up again, dude.
Brian's frozen.
He's frozen. I thought he was just bored with us, and he's not bored. We lost him. We're gonna wait for him to come back.
He got quiet.
Mike, I'm sorry. You're gonna have some extra editing to do this week. I'm
leaving this in.
Oh, you're leaving all of it in. This is a low budget list you expect from our.
This is high quality. This is good for us.
All 3 people, Mary Beth, Brian's mom, and all 6 other people to watch this. Thank you for bearing with us here.
Mary Beth will be on soon. She's doing good. She told me she's working on some stuff. She'll be on soon, and
she'll be on soon to talk sports. That'll be a good time.
Brian is trying to get on. It says device. In the meantime, device is not connected.
So, how was your day, Mike? What did you do today on your Sunday fun day?
I edited something all day, so I can get paid.
I went to my hometown fair, but we'll talk about that another time. All right, so we only got one more ad to do. We are gonna do, Brian. We have an OJ ad. It's another OJ ad. You excited? Oh, fuck, your camera's frozen again.
Yeah, your camera's frozen. I can hear you.
I'm so sorry. At this point, I'm probably gonna I'll pop back in and turn my camera off. Hold on. Sorry about this, guys.
Do we expect anything less from our show? Like, this is high level production for us.
This isn't even a fraction of the tech issues we used to have. Do you remember when we only did the show? It was during COVID, and we we're trying to watch these videos before we discovered this software. We were using the other software. And it was a nightmare to get everything to sync up with you guys.
The computer would just crash because I had so many browsers open. I was just trying to load footage. It didn't work. So he's there. He is. All right. So Brian is now.
Okay. Brian, let me ask you: do you have any other items running in your house? Like, is your boyfriend watching like Netflix or something, or are you like downloading gay porn on your other like browser tab or something, or is it just like, or is it the software here?
There he is.
All right, we're gonna try to knock this out before his thing freezes again. All right, so let's get right into it. We got one last thing today. We have an OJ ad. We like to do OJ ads sometimes at the end of the show. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are excited, but Mike, smash that play button whenever you want. Let's go.
Great for relaxing with friends and enjoying Pioneer's Summer Fun Special. You get 8 large pieces of golden Pioneer chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, and coleslaw for just $6.99.
Good deal.
And Pioneer's even got free coupons for Universal Studios tour, with the biggest discounts including a free admission. There's exciting attractions like Transformers Base Camp, 2010 Spacewalk, and much more. Of course, Pioneer Chicken Summer Fun Special for $6.99 is a great way to make new friends, right?
Wait a minute, Phil.
Oh, no, it froze.
Wait, what is this?
It froze. We got to wait. Yeah, play it back. Play it back.
No, it played all the way through. It froze in your end?
Summertime.
It froze on my
Great for
screen,
relaxing with friends and enjoying Pioneer's Summer Fun Special. You get 8 large pieces of golden Pioneer chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, and
Good
coleslaw
song.
for just $6.99.
I always felt weird about the fact that
And
this guy was
Pioneer's
selling
even got
fried
free
chicken.
coupons
I feel
for
like there's
Universal
some subtext
Studios
there that we're
tour,
not allowed
with the
to talk
biggest
about, you know?
discounts including a free admission.
I mean, that's
There's
cute.
exciting attractions like Transformers
late
Base Camp,
70s, early 80s
2010
right there. They're
Spacewalk,
just
and
like,
much
yeah,
more.
like racial
Of course, Pioneer
stereotypes be
Chicken Summer
damned.
Fun
We're
Special
going to
for
have
$6.99.
OJ sell some
It's a great
fucking
way to
chicken
make new
right now.
friends, right, fellas?
So it's a spaceman, Frankenstein, and
I know, this is like
what is going on?
a naked guy from the Village People, apparently.
this is like when in college when people would robo trip, you know, when they would do like robotussin to fucking trip, like you would see OJ and Frankenstein and an astronaut probably on a this looks like a robo trip right now. I don't know, maybe because I'm coughing and I feel feverish. I'm like, okay, my internet's working. I feel feverish right now, and like now I'm seeing OJ Simpson eat chicken with an astronaut. Like this is probably, this is where I die. This is probably the last. This is probably the last thing you see before death.
And a leather daddy by a pool. Like,
And the leather daddy, and the leather too. And the guy in a jock strap. So a guy in a jock strap.
Yeah.
This is probably a fever dream of mine. is OJ Simpson eating chicken with a guy in a jock, and there's an astronaut in a Frankenstein. Yeah, this is a really strange trip. This is gonna haunt my dreams.
Whatever you got, I want some. And
Enjoy.
apparently, so does Benji.
I'll be happy to see it.
Better ask the leather daddy or Joe Burrow. Now that you see,
Joe Burrow, definitely.
Okay.
Joe Burrow, definitely. Yeah, Joe Burrow is a 10 out of 10. Joe Burrow is a perfect. Here's how hot Joe Burrow is. Joe Burrow is so hot that remember when they did Jesus at my fucking
screen
shit froze again.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, that's right. We'll finish it off this way. It's okay.
I'm gonna come back. I mean, probably if I come back in, I'm gonna just turn my camera off. No, Joe Burrow is so hot that when they did all the QBs, like if they look like women, like everyone was like, all my straight friends were like, "Oh, girl Joe Burrow is a smoke show."
It's the hottest one.
Like, yes, of course,
Hell yeah.
of course,
Dude,
because dude Joe Burrow is a smoke show.
We gotta do an episode of Brian's power rankings, like his top 5 or top 10. I don't know how you feel about this, Brian, but if we did like a Brian's rankings of quarterbacks he'd bang, like a countdown, like a top 10.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
That'd be very funny. If you want to come back,
we could do that
for football season or next month or whatever. Yeah, that'd be really.
That would be fun for football season.
Before we go, we want to get your thoughts on the guy in the Red Sox, his comments that he got suspended.
The Duran
players.
Yeah, well, the irony is growing up, he's a Red Sox player, and growing up, every Yankees fan I know would call anyone who played for the Red Sox a faggot. So it's ironic that he got suspended for it. My actual thoughts, though, I do have, I guess, serious thoughts, and kind of mixed because on one hand, I'm glad that gay people can almost have agency, set boundaries, and it's good that we have power where people are afraid of offending us and getting trouble. Like, I actually like that gay people have that power, right now to like be like to either say, hey, we don't like something, or people will be like afraid of losing their job if they offend us.
Right.
That is like, in a way, that is nice. And sometimes I get like why people cringe if they hear straight people use that word. So like, I also get that too, but at the same time, I'm a big believer in context. And this guy did not seem like he used it. It's not like John Rocker, who said he didn't want to go play for New York because he was afraid he'd go on the subway and get AIDS from a queer. Like, that was wild. That man gave that full statement to Sports Illustrated. And he just kept having his career. But no,
this guy, and hold on, Brian. The thing is, not only is Brian not losing his job, I don't know if you guys read this, but when he did that, his jersey sales shot up. Like, people were like, yeah, he said the F-bomb. Now we're going to support this man.
Yeah, and that's also dumb as fuck in my opinion. Like, it's just like, to me this is a mountain out of a molehill. This was a guy that muttered a generic. I don't think he used it in a homophobic way.
Like he meant like you
this guy that this was a guy that muttered what he thought. He muttered to himself too. That's the other important part. He said something to himself.
He did.
And
I thought he said it.
Yeah, he muttered it, and he got caught on it.
Okay.
I think he muttered it to himself, and he was on a hot mic.
Oh, that's what because he was mic'd up for the game, probably. Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, he was on a hot mic, and he muttered it to himself, and some broadcast picked it up or whatever. So then he had to, do his apology tour while a gun was probably held to his head. But I mean, my thing is, like, I like that gay people have enough rights where, like, this can be a controversy, and it's not just like, that's just what you call him. But at the same time, I think this is overkill. I don't think he should have been suspended. I think maybe a slap on the wrist. He does his little apology tour and then just move on. That's how I feel about it.
He had to next Boston Red Sox off day go out to Provincetown out there in the Cape and really apologize personally to the whole community. That's
personally.
They can go out like they can walk out into a banana hammock on the beach out there in Provincetown. Make him hug a bunch of gentlemen who prefer the company.
With oil on his chest.
Yes, exactly. That's how they should have done it.
With oil on his pecs, and then he would be forgiven in 5 minutes.
Exactly. The other thing the other thing too is, like, I grew up about an hour outside of Boston, and let me tell you, that word was used as a polite greeting all through my childhood and teen years. Like, you say to your best friends, like, yo, what's up, you? Like, that is what you say to somebody that you like. The people in this world, my childhood friends that I trust the most, I call that still. You know what I mean? Like, these are, like, that word is like more of a comma in the Boston area than it is anywhere else. So I feel like it is overblown, Brian. I agree with you.
And again, like, I understand why there are gay people that don't want straight people to use that word. I definitely get that. At the same time, like, I just don't. I'm very much a person, like, evaluate something like case by case basis, like, this is also a situation where it gets a little more philosophical with separating art from artist, because I think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. Kind of off topic a little bit. I think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame, but watching the Pete Rose documentary on HBO, there's no more of a garbage human being. Pete Rose is garbage throughout. Like, that is like one of the most irredeemable
accused rapist. There's a lot of bad stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh dude.
He's a really bad guy.
Not only that, like, he was like hitting on like 15-year-olds like in the 70s, and he's like, and like when they pressed him for it,
it was the 70s. I mean, what was the age you consent in the 70s? 12. I mean, I feel like, honestly, like,
not that it's right, but
I'm not saying it's my thing, but I am saying that things like that were a lot more socially acceptable, especially if you look.
I'm glad you clarified that, Phil. I'm glad you clarified that. Like, he's a couple, not my thing. Let me just put that disclaimer out.
He's got binoculars looking at high school camp, like, hey.
Well, it's also like that argument to me. It's like, I mean, just because it was permissible doesn't mean it was fucking right. Like
Yeah,
he's just a dirtbag. But the point is like, okay, just because whatever this guy's opinions, he might have fucking terrible opinions that I fucking hate. He might be a bigoted piece of shit. I don't know this guy personally, but if he's playing, I don't see how that has anything to do with him playing baseball, like whatsoever. Like it's not like he's cheating if he, doesn't think gay people should get married. It's not like you are automatically going to get another home run if you think it should be up to the states. If Roe v. Wade is legal, I don't like the bigoted opinions or bad opinions don't make you a better sports player. So like, it's kind of a little, it's pointless to me.
That'd be great if it did. That'd be amazing, Brian, if it did, because then you'd see players who walk up to the plate and they drop like 12 N-bombs, like, I'm going to hit a fucking grand slam. Let's do this.
And they're just able, and they're just like, their batting average is going up. The more racist they were. How is that possible? How is that possible? Doctors are scratching their heads.
Yeah, obviously he shouldn't use the word. I think he got suspended. It's over with now. I think we can move on. Hopefully he learned a lesson. But at the same time, I think a guy like the kicker on the Chiefs, what he said was way worse.
Well, and that's another thing, Mike. Like if we're gonna, because for this Red Sox player, if he just muttered this to himself and he got suspended for 2 games, then like. The kicker for the Chiefs, he should just be suspended like from the entire league. Like, because like what that guy did was 10 times more offensive to me, and I think 10 times more harmful because he's a fucking right-wing piece of shit. Like, so that guy is 10 times exactly, Mike. That's another point.
Right wingers look bad. That's how bad those comments.
Well, first of all, football and baseball culture, a lot of the best teams and the stronger culture does come from the South. So I think the leagues in general, the fan bases do tend to lean, especially in a state like Missouri, probably right wing. I'm not excusing it, by the way. That guy's a douchebag. But the one thing I wanted to say about this I thought was funny was that my girlfriend is a big Swiftie, and of course Taylor Swift is dating Travis Kelce, who also plays for the Chiefs. And obviously Taylor and Travis are known to be a bit more liberal. So I bet you there was like a non-zero chance that when that dude went on that tirade last spring, that Travis Kelce's like, bitch, I'll see you in the locker room during preseason. We're gonna fucking talk. He might have put him in line behind the scenes. That's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, but it's also like even when that did happen, like, which by the way, at first I heard he gave like a misogynist speech, and I was like, well, let me actually hear the whole speech before I rush to judgment. And it was 10 times worse. It was 10 times worse than anything I expected. I'm like, oh, this guy is a fucking army of God right here, and he is not crazy about the women or the gays. But like, again, like it's just like, to me, it's like, okay, if I'm a Chiefs fan, is he still getting field goals? Which, by the way, is after watching the Jets kicker last night miss 2 field goals in the preseason, it's like, okay, not an easy task, I guess. I thought that was the easiest task in football, but like you need a good kicker. You can't underestimate that. So
we're all going to accuse the like really bad behavior because, like Mike, you and I are of course Yankee fans. We had to, you think about the Yankee fans over the last even 10 or 12 years, you had Domingo Germán, Aroldis Chapman. You had some monsters in this team. But then when Chapman comes in and he strikes out 3 guys in the 9th, you're like, yay.
Yeah. Domingo Germán pitched that perfect game. I slept through and I woke up and I was happy, but I'm like, he's such a bad guy.
Yeah. He deserved this. Out of all the players.
He couldn't embrace it. Not only did they not win a championship that year, they had a good season, but like nobody really liked him, so we couldn't celebrate it. And it happened late at night and most people missed it. So it was kind of, I guess, the way it was supposed to happen. Everybody missed it.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay and he's got his life together.
Right. So we're at about 50 minutes right now. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to add, but I think that's a good place to wrap it up. I think we're.
I guess the one thing I had to add is like I'm also not taking any. I'm not saying like here's what I also wanted to say. Like it's just it's more. It's not necessarily taking a definitive stance. Like, should he have said it or should he have not said it? Like, it's also just there's always like moral conundrums, and each situation is different, and you do have to, I think, evaluate intent and context in each situation when you're judging these situations. I do actually think that is very important. Some people don't, and they can make a valid case why, but I'm very much a case-by-case basis when it comes to who gets the scolding and who gets the hammer thrown down of cancel culture. So yeah,
that's right.
That's my opinion on that.
Because he plays for the Red Sox, fuck him.
Yeah.
There we go. That's how we're ending.
There's also that too.
How we're ending. All right.
Yeah, Phil, like you said, it's like if everything's a 10, then everything has no meaning after that.
Exactly.
So,
and this is definitely not a 10. I mean, there's some people that are trying to make it a 10, but I agree with Brian. It was a little bit overblown. So anyway, go team. I'll talk to you next week. Mike, Brian, I want to get you on in a month or two to do the power ranking of quarterbacks you want to bang or just players you want to bang in the NFL. That'd be very funny to do if you're down. All right. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon, man.
All right. Later.
Peace.